I get a lot of questions about Christ consciousness, comparing it to Kundalini. And obviously most people ask me, is Christ consciousness the same as Kundalini? The answer is yes, in part, but it goes deeper than that. And in this video, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go deeper. Now with this, when we come to Christian terminology, we have to remember to ignore all the very closed, because unfortunately in Christianity, there are some very closed secty types of churches around Christianity. They take the words written in the particular published Bible that they read, but you have to remember there are many different versions of the Bible. They have many different translations. Some stories are in some, others aren't. And is it the feeding of the 50 or the 5,000? Or you also have to remember that there is nothing in the Bible that is a quote, very simply because, especially if we're talking about English language or something like that, it is a translation of a translation of a translation of a translation. It wasn't written down for hundreds of years. So things got twisted and turned and changed, and then certain books got selected and others got left out, the Nag Hammadi libraries. So we have to sort of step away from all of that close-mindedness. When we are able to do that, we can see the very close relationship that Kundalini has with a thing called Christ consciousness. But it's not the same. And here's why. Kundalini has two parts. A Kundalini awakening has two parts. Everybody you will hear on social media, they talk about, I've had a full awakening, my Kundalini has risen. That is not a full Kundalini awakening. That is half of it. That is Shakti energy rising. The other half of it is connecting to Shiva consciousness. So very simply here, by the name, Christ consciousness, Shiva consciousness. They're literally both consciousness. So Christ consciousness is the part of Kundalini that is the same as Shiva consciousness. So here's the thing. Where's Shakti in the Christianity format of this? Well, if you analyze many different translations of a certain thing within Christianity called the Holy Spirit, and you take out all the nonsense, you will find the rough translations and mistranslations gets us to something like a baptism of fire, heat, an awakening, an opening. Shakti, fire, rising. So a full awakening, Kundalini awakening, in the Christian language, very simply, is first the rising of the Holy Spirit. Now, whether it's rising or whether it comes down and back up again, debatable. This can happen with Shakti as well. There are different techniques. But so it is the rising or the connection of the Holy Spirit, of the energy that connects us to Christ consciousness or Shiva consciousness. And this is why I always say, Kundalini is not just a Hindu practice. It is in every culture all around the world. We see the snake time and time again in every culture. It's all there. Unfortunately, within some forms of Christianity, not all, not the Gnostics, the snake has been sold to us as bad. But yet, the genocidal God has also been sold to us as good. But we're not going into the politics of the religion. We're looking at finding the secret mystic teachings within what is held in all the different translations and all the different publishings of this one book. The million different versions of the same book, all saying something different. And when it comes to Kundalini, that's what it is. It is the combination of the Holy Spirit to reach Christ consciousness. It is the rising of Shakti energy to reach Shiva. Only when both are connected do we have a full awakening. So again, with Kundalini, those people say, I've had a rising, I've had the energy go up my spine, therefore I'm fully awake. It's half the story. When people talk about Christ consciousness and the different ways of how to get to a Christ consciousness, again, it's only half the story if you don't embrace the energy, Shakti or Holy Spirit. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's clear. There are two parts to the story of any awakening. We can compare this to Taoist ideas. We can compare this to South American ideas. But today, I just thought, because I get many, many questions about it, talking about Christ consciousness, this is the answer. Remember to share this with friends on social media if you've liked this, so more people can get this understanding. Subscribe to the channel as always. You can leave a comment down below. Now, I expect on this video, we're going to get some typical bigoted, closed-minded, literal translation Christians talking about things. Okay, they're going to be there. That's the way they see things. There are closed-minded people in every culture, very programmed, very stuck in the matrix. That's fine. If it happens, it happens. But let's hope most of the people who see this are more open-minded, less brainwashed people, and can understand the core concepts hidden between the lines of the teachings. See you in another video.